Virat Kohli, I think he's the best one-day international cricket player to ever play the game.
Yeah, I think most Australians have a lot of respect for him and the way he plays the game.
Aggressive captain.
Yeah, he captains India great. Bats really well. Amazing player, probably the best in the world.
He's an absolute great player and fantastic batsman to watch.
Yeah, Jesus, he's been talking about the whole time. He's just the epitome of being an Australian, isn't he?
Look, I think he's probably the batsman of his generation, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I think Virat Kohli brought a whole new dimension to cricket, not just Indian cricket.
Oh, he's a pretty amazing player, you know. Every time he bats, you just see him get consistent 50s, consistent 100s, you know.
Right.
Good batsman.
Good batsman, yeah.
And he's a legend. He's one of the best of all time.
He's quite a good captain for India.
I think he's pretty charismatic, actually.
Hi, this is Norman Kochannek here for Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochannek and also Sree, Harsha Cricket. I'm here talking to Australians that are on the streets of Coogee, right near Coogee Beach. I've met up with Doug from Coogee Minnows top there, very much a local. That's right, very much a local. Very much a local. Yep. So Doug been a Coogee man, and he's done his elbow. What did he done with your elbow?
A little accident, but we'll get over it. It's all good.
So Doug's an avid cricket follower like I am. And we're going to talk about three people throughout this moment. We'll talk about the first. Virat Kohli. What's your thoughts on Virat Kohli, Doug?
I think Virat Kohli brought a whole new dimension to cricket, not just Indian cricket. Obviously, he stood up to the Australians like nobody's really stood up to them before. He brought a new dimension to how he actually led his team, and he really led them in a very strong manner, and he actually wanted them to actually follow him. So I think he really brought an understanding that cricket is tough, that cricket is not just mucking around. You've really got to get into it. You've got to get into the other person's face on a cricket field. Maybe it's a little bit like football. You've really got to be a bit more physical, and that's what Virat Kohli brought to the game.
It almost sounds like an Australian player to me, the way you're describing it.
Absolutely. I think he was the most Australian Indian player we've ever actually met.
And he's revolutionised cricket, I think, the way that India approach it, for sure.
Well, he has, and I think he got respect all over the world because of it, and I think it was also a first for the Australians. They didn't really know how to deal with him. They didn't really know how to deal with his style of play, and hence he took it to them, and hence why they went so well. So, well done, Virat.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great story on Virat Kohli, an Indian champion as we speak, current captain of the Indian side. I'm actually here in Coogee yet again, on Coogee Bay Road, and we've got some Darcy here, who's an avid cricket fan, aren't you?
Yeah, love cricket.
Yeah, you love your cricket. All right, so what we have here is, we're going to talk about three of the players. In fact, the first one we're going to talk about is Virat Kohli. What's your thoughts, Darcy, on Virat Kohli?
Oh, he's a pretty amazing player, you know. Every time he bats, you just see him get consistent 50s, consistent 100s, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Just going to push this back a bit. There we go. Go for it.
Yeah, it's crazy that India beat Australia as well without him. Like, yeah, Indian team very strong. Virat Kohli adds a lot to it, you know.
Yep. So, what do you think of him as a captain, as a player?
Yeah, he captains India great. Win a lot of tests, obviously.
Yep.
And yeah, bats really well. Like I said, consistently scores 100s.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing player, probably the best in the world.
Really?
Arguably.
You think of best in the world?
Arguably.
Darcy says he's the best in the world. That's quite an incredible statement, actually. What do you think about his fearlessness?
Like his leadership, or
yep.
Oh yeah, well, I think he's a great leader. Brings energy out to the field, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's a great trait to have as a captain as well.
It certainly is.
Brings a lot to the team.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Darcy. Now we'll ask a couple more. Just come back a bit with me because you're a bit tall. In fact, how tall are you?
Oh, like 6'4".
6'4". Well, I'm 6'6", but I'm kneeling here at the moment. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kneeling because I want to make you look taller than me. I mean, I'm 6'6". He's 6'4". Anyway, if you believe that, you believe anything. All right. So I'm here with Mark. We're actually at Bondi Junction, which is an area near Coogee where I was earlier today. It's a major shopping centre, and I just wanted to get Mark's opinion of a few cricketers that are playing for India, see what his thoughts are. And his lovely wife has joined. Michelle. Yep. So Michelle and Mark. I would say M&M. I could say that. M&M. There we go. M&M. Yep. They like chocolates. M&M. Okay. Mark and Michelle. So I'm going to be talking about a player, Virat Kohli. What's your thoughts of Virat Kohli?
I actually believe he's quite a good captain for India. You know, the way he G'd up the team in the first test, the inspirational catch that he did, they're all leadership skills. There's a bit of arrogance about him, and I suppose that goes with the leadership, but it's also reflected against the Australians too.
Very, very good point. Very good point indeed. Any other thoughts about Virat Kohli? Michelle?
Well, I think he's pretty charismatic, actually.
Oh, you think he's charismatic? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I think that you need to be charismatic to be captain. So, yeah.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Michelle's point about being charismatic, that's true of any captain, a good captain at least. Yeah. That's an excellent set of points. Thank you for that. I must appreciate that. What about the fact that he only played one test though? What was your thoughts on that?
It was good for Australia, even though we lost. He's far more inspirational than what a lot of people give him credit for, I would suggest.
It's a very interesting point because many people would have, at that stage when he actually left the team, and I talked to anyone about that, they actually expected India to lose and lose badly. Yeah. And heroically, they actually did not, which is quite inspirational. Against all odds, losing their captain, losing their entire bowling lineup, they were able to actually play very well. So that makes it even more remarkable, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but it also shows how human he is, that he prioritised his own personal relationships and family to go home. I think that's really important.
That's a very good point. The fact that he went home and prioritised his family over cricket, he being at the highest level, it's a great point, Michelle. All right, thank you for that. I've got Craig here.
How are you doing, Norm?
How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Now, you might notice that Craig's got an Irish accent, but you're very much into cricket, aren't you?
Oh, I love it. I think it's great. I got into cricket and NRL over here, and it's fantastic. It is.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ireland obviously play cricket, but the fact is they've done very well. They beat England, didn't they? Not that long ago.
Oh yeah, that was their first match to beat. They beat. She's videoing me now. Yeah. They beat England on Phoenix Park, which is a public ground you can walk onto, which was incredible.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to talk about three players. The first person I'm going to talk about is Virat Kohli.
Oh yeah, very good, very aggressive, and seems to be. I talked to a lot of Aussies over here, and they say he's the most Australian. Like he sums up their culture. Like people play for him, a bit like Roy Keane for Ireland.
Right.
If you're into the soccer, so he's like the cricket version of Roy Keane, is what I've been told.
That's a good point. He's a bit like the Virat Kohli. Is a bit like a voice from Roy Keane from soccer. That's true. Yeah. And he's all your Australian friends, and you've noticed yourself how much of a leader he is.
Yeah, Jesus, he's talking about the whole time. He's just the epitome of being an Australian, isn't he?
It's amazing, isn't it? It's a very common reply that people think that Virat Kohli is more Australian than most Australians are, and that's quite a comment, isn't it? The fact that he's acting like an Australian with his fearlessness, his aggression, and the way he leads and captains.
Yeah, it's great to see. I didn't think that sort of characters were in cricket before I started watching it over here, but obviously someone like him proves me wrong.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's a very strong comment about Virat Kohli. Thanks for that, Craig.
No problem, no, mate. Cheers, mate.
Okay.